Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is ElfSkull16 and today we're taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Starscream. Now, I reviewed Soundwave from the same line a few days ago and I loved that figure, but honestly, I think I might love this one even more. And that's crazy considering Soundwave is one of my favorite characters. But this line is just, it never ceases to amaze me, and I've been getting them for like pretty cheap, so it's been like really convenient for me too, picking up these figures, and so far I haven't been disappointed even once. And yeah, I love this figure, but getting into it, let's take a look at the details first, because this line is full of details. Taking a look at the head sculpt there, you can see it's painted really well for the limited amount of paint that it actually has. The silver is perfectly applied, the black plastic looks good. There is light piping behind the head. Let me see if I can get some of that in. Yeah, that looks great, and you could get some really cool photos going with that setup. But yeah, the light piping is great. It looks amazing. I love the chest, the orange glow. It's a translucent kind of plastic, so it looks really cool. In basically any lighting, you can see the silver paint for those chest pieces there. Silver paint on the arms to signify battle damage. The detailing on this figure is amazing. There's all sorts of panels and whatnot, and I get that that is the design, but I'm so glad they were able to capture it in figure form in such a cool way. You can see all that silver paint even on the legs. Now there's one thing I'm a tad bit disappointed by. It's the lack of paint on the guns, the arm cannons, whatever it's called. But you know, you could just get some nice black wash going and it could look good. The sculpt is there, but I would have preferred if they were painted beforehand. But I get that they don't really paint a lot of weapons in this line. And a lot of Transformers, actually, they just don't paint the weapons a lot. But, you know, this figure looks good regardless. You can see the Decepticon logo on the wings. You can see the red in the wings really pops. So that's a good color choice there. Taking a look at the back of the figure, you can see this orange translucent part that comes in later during transformation. This part behind the leg is spring-loaded, so it will push back. It is for the transformation, I'll show that later on. But you can see the back doesn't look bad at all. There's not a lot of kibble going on, and it just looks sleek. It doesn't look like an awkward backpack. You know, so yeah, I'm just really amazed by how much detail they've packed into this figure, and yeah, it's a great purchase. And right off the bat, I want to say, if you're looking for a good Starscream, regardless of the design, this is a very cool figure. But if you want to see more details and the articulation transformation, stick around. Because next we're going to take a look at the articulation on Starscream. Now first I wanted to mention he doesn't really come with any accessories unless you count the shoulder cannons, the arm cannons, whatever you call them. But unless you count those, he doesn't come with any accessories, but I'm not going to count those because they're an essential part of Starscream. But taking a look at the articulation, the head is on a standard ball joint, moves around quite nice. You can get quite expressive with it, but taking a look at the shoulders here, they move out about that much, so exactly 90 degrees actually. You could rotate the arms all the way around. Since there's wings in the back, that's basically as far as you can go. There is shoulder movement there. You can move the shoulder forwards, but that's also mainly just for the transformation. Double jointed elbows which bend in all the way, and that looks great. You do get swivel at the wrist, then you get swivel at the waist, get a kick that moves up about that much, a bit more than 90 degrees. Going back, it goes back about not much, gets blocked by the backpack. Goes outwards almost all the way. That's 90 degrees, if not more. And that just looks great. There's no gapping and all that stuff, so that's good. There is a thigh swivel. You can get, it's a single joint knee, but you can get it that much inwards, which is amazing. I've seen a lot of figures with single joint knees that can't get past 90 degrees. So for the toes, the feet, you can get them moving forward that much, get them moving backwards a little bit, not too much. You do get an ankle pivot, which doesn't work too well, but it looks good. It looks good in some poses and all that stuff. There is joints on the feet to make them fold up, but then again, that's for the transformation. And for the last little part of articulation that's included with this figure, it's the wings. You can either pose them like this, which is a more neutral way to pose them, or you can flare them out like so, which is the design that was in the show. But yeah, that looks great. That looks absolutely amazing. I adore this design for Starscream, and he just looks great. But yeah, now getting into the height and the comparisons, he does stand at about 6 inches tall, maybe 6 1/4 inches. If you look at the top of his head to the top of his wings, he stands right at 7 inches tall. Now, comparing him to some other figures, here he is next to Siege Soundwave, which is another banger figure. And if you can get these, yeah, they look great together. And this whole line, I'm sure, just looks absolutely stunning together. Next, comparing it to the MDLX-30 Optimus Prime, which towers over Starscream as he's supposed to, but that looks awesome. The blockiness fits in with the MDLX line too, so I'm definitely going to use this as, you know, my main Starscream. And I will review this figure very, very soon, so keep a lookout for that one. Subscribe if you want to watch that review, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. This figure is amazing. Okay, anyways, not the figures review. Next, here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Naruto. Not sure how, or if you're gonna want to fit these in with each other, but you know, there's a comparison for the scale with SH Figuarts figure. But yeah, that's it for the comparisons. Let's keep moving on. Let's take a look at the transformation, and this is where this figure absolutely shines above most Transformers figures I've seen. Now, it is a pretty simple transformation. If you want, you can just follow my instructions right here. You know, side by side, transform your figure along with me. Or you can take a look at the instruction booklet. But I don't really like the instruction booklets too much for this figure, because these figures in general, like the Siege line, because it's kind of messy. It's in black and white, and there's purple highlights, and it just looks very, very messy. So getting into the transformation, first you're going to want to pull the arm cannons out. Now, you could call this parts forming, but you know, I don't really care too much about that stuff as long as it looks good and it functions well. But next, you're going to want to, you see these tabs right here in the forearm, your forearm, you're going to want to separate that. Roll the wrist inwards. This is a kind of complicated step. Pull this part right here away from the shoulder, and it just goes onto the shoulder like so. And you can just collapse that, and that looks like kind of a stub for an arm, like he lost half of his arm or something. But you know, do the same for the other side, like so. That locks in there nice and tight. Next, you're going to want to fold these wings down. Then let's come to the legs and fold the ankle thingies up like so, like I showed you before. Do that for both the sides. Next, you are going to want to, okay, this is a kind of complicated step. So you're going to want to pull these, the long pieces in the back, out of the tabs right there, and do that for the other side too. And you're going to want to pull these downwards. Let's first pull this out like so. Pull these downwards, and you can see there's tabs right here, and they tab into each other very, very easily. Now, it is tough to separate these, so I recommend using a part separator or something like that. But that basically forms the nose of the vehicle mode. And next, you're going to want to pop out this chest plate, just like so. And don't move it around too much, because now you're going to want to bring in this piece from under the head, and you'll see that it's kind of a flap right there, and there is a peg hole in the back of the head, and you're going to want to peg that into there, and it will look something like, oh wow, that's tight, but yeah, it will look something like this. And then you just want to push the head backwards into the back of the body, and you can see as I pushed it backwards, this piece just lifted up. If you push it backwards without detaching this piece from the chest, it just flies away sometimes. So now you're going to want to turn the waist like so, and you're going to want to pull these knee joints inwards like so, and you're going to want to tab them into those slots right there. And that's it for the legs. That is the last step for the legs. Just straighten those feet out, and now let's go back to the other side. You can see it seems kind of messy right now, but trust me, it comes along and it looks very, very cool. Next, you're going to want to see these tabs right here, and you're going to want to tab those in. Now, fair warning, I tried to tab those in and keep these shoulders flush to the side, but they will be a little bit rotated. Let me just show you guys. Just tab that into the arm like so, and you'll see the shoulder part right there, it's at an angle. It's supposed to be like that. Same goes for the other arm. Tap that in like so. You can see they're at an angle for both the shoulders. Now you're going to want to pull this whole assembly forwards like that, and next you will pull those wings down again, because I didn't do it properly the first time. But you'll see these little tabs, and they will tab into those peg holes in the forearm. Now this is a bit tricky, but if you get the right angle, they should plug in very, very easily without any problems. And you can see it's starting to look even better. It's almost done, by the way. Then you pull this piece upwards and you tab it into those tabs right there. That just snaps in, and now you have the back of the figure looking absolutely great. You can see those thrusters at the top, those thrusters at the bottom of the feet. Then you flip over to the side. Now, it might look complete right now, but there is a single thing that is taken away from the entire look, and that is these parts right here. That little tab is supposed to be on the inside. So what you're going to do is pull that downwards and make sure that that goes inside of that part, and then just push everything down, make sure everything is sitting flush, and boom, there we have the jet mode. Now all that's left is to attach these guns into the peg holes in the wing right there. take the other one, do the same for this side. And yeah, that is it. Now you have Starscream in his Cybertronian jet mode, and my god, if this isn't just an amazing design. You can see all the paintwork still carries on. You can see the Decepticon logos. I love how the nose of the jet looks. Now there is, you know, the bottom of the figure doesn't look very clean, but hey, there's not a lot of Transformers figures that can, you know, get the bottom of the figure to look as clean as the top. So I appreciate them going all out on the top and the back at the very least. But yeah, this looks absolutely stunning. I adore this design for Starscream. But yeah, thank you for watching my review of the Siege Starscream from Transformers War for Cybertron. But if you enjoyed this review, you can, you know, as always, drop a like, maybe subscribe if you are interested in seeing more reviews like Transformers, Mafex figures, SH Figuarts, Marvel Legends, McFarlane, all that stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video informative, and yeah, have a great day. And if you enjoyed this, I'm really glad you did, because I am just starting out making reviews on YouTube, and it is tough. It's a tough crowd, you know, it's not easy to get views. But I'm not really in it for the views. I'm just trying to get information out from my perspective on action figures. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.